Srila Maharaj, he said, in the absence of my Gurudev, should I wish to lead a peaceful life? No, rather now is the testing time, that in the absence of my Gurudev, how much of his teaching have I actually imbibed within myself, or how much is only superficial? Now will come the test. Srila Maharaj says, not everyone will pass that test, but those who do, those who are constantly submitted to the fire of ordeal, those that pass through that test, they will come out forged like steel. So their faith will be indomitable and their service will be unstoppable. So this is our hope and our prayer for everyone, that we will continue our service to Sri Sri Guru Gauranga. And this is we have no doubt that this is the wish of Srila Acharya Maharaj in service to his Gurudev.
You made it the next day of the speaker.
So, anyhow, we are all feeling very heavy hearts today, no doubt. So, many Vaishnavas have come to join us for this festival online. Not so many in the mott, as you can see. A few devotees have come. Others are also doing seva in the kitchen to prepare some offering for Maharaj. And we are trying to continue and observe this. It is called Viraha Mahotsava, so festival in separation from Sri Guru. So I see that many devotees are here, and we are joined with the West London mott also. But so I would like to, ask the devotees all who would like to speak something in glorification of Srila Acharya Maharaj. And I'll ask who is in the West London temple with Saraswati Didi. She can maybe begin that there. I can't actually see anybody there, but I need an altar. I don't even know if it's live or a photograph from here.
Well, everyone is in the kitchen preparing for the festival, so not everyone is in the temple room at this point.
Okay, so anyone is there?
Not currently, I don't think.
All right, well, I see that Vishaka Didi is here with us, so maybe Vishaka Didi would like to say something. I'm asking her.
And Pranam to all the Vaishnavas gathered here. It's such a great shock. I heard yesterday, I had a phone call from the Kul Prabhu that Acharya Maharaj was in the hospital, and that was already a shock. And then this morning we hear that he left so unexpectedly. And I was just reflecting on, I'm trying to remember the details. There was a situation with Acharya Maharaj when he was traveling from Venezuela, and I think there was a delay with his flight, and he had to stay longer in Venezuela or something like that. And we were missing him for a festival in India, and Gurudev commented at that time that everything is happening by the will of Krishna, and whoever can truly understand that, they are very fortunate. And this morning has been very busy. I've been talking to lots of devotees and lots of messages, and there's a lot of discussion about how did it happen, why did it happen, whose fault is it, how is this possible? But ultimately we have to see everything with spiritual vision and understand that it is all happening by the will of the Lord. And of course here, we are the ones who are left in a difficult situation, losing such a great Vaishnava. But we have to think of him and his eternal journey and his relationship with our Guru Varga and with Mahaprabhu. He is continuing on. He is, really his service is unparalleled, within our devotional family. And he will no doubt continue on more gloriously in his relationship to our Gurudev and to our Gurudev. Gurudev, he once gave the example of in India there are these big fire ants, and if they bite you, you'll swell up. They're very painful. But one characteristic they have is that if they like sink their teeth into you, then they'll never let go. Even if they would rather die. So if you pull them off, their body will split, but they won't let go. And so Gurudev, he said once that we should serve with that kind of spirit. And I have to say, Srila Acharya Maharaj, he's the only person who I know, who truly embodies that, to the most extreme degree. His affinity for service was something so extraordinary. And in some ways, I don't feel so qualified to say anything about Maharaj, because my relationship with him was different than it was with most of the devotees in our mission, because, I really thought of him as a brother, and we served in Navadvip together. And, I was his secretary for some time. I helped him with his letters. So, I saw him in a different way than most of our devotees. He's really like a family member, and I saw up close, what extreme attention he had, to every detail of the running of Gurudev's mat. That was actually one of Gurudev's comments, right? He mentioned that in his declaration about Acharya Maharaj. He said his greatest quality is what someone here will remember better, but about how he gives so much attention to every inch of the mat, every detail was under his scrutiny. And he could have a gruff exterior at times, but underneath that, he had a very deeply affectionate heart. And that's also something that Gurudev observed, and something that we experienced, And in his earlier years, when he became the Acharya, then there had to be some type of change. But in his earlier years as the manager, he would take people personally to hospital, going to people's rooms personally to check on things. He had such a deep, caring, and attentive heart for the care of everyone. Finally, as Devashishu said, we have to carry on, because there wasn't any preparation, then at least in these situations, normally there's some type of preparation to such a moment, but this has come as such a great shock, and in the middle of this mad COVID situation in the world. So our concern is very much that devotees will be able to find strength to continue, and just think of what a Acharya Maharaj would say, as he would joke, he would joke about people not being able to tolerate his chastisements. So think of his expressions. If anyone wants to give up, don't give up. You have to think of think of his deep attachment, think of how much he wanted all of you to continue. And so, everyone must think of him and find the strength to carry on. And we must see in the broader picture that this is all due to the higher will of Guru and Gauranga. So I'll stop there. There's many devotees here. And also, as Devashishu said, we want to, with whatever little we have, we want to offer our support to everyone who's facing this situation. So with whatever little I have, I'm here for everyone, and we pray we can continue with even more determination on the path. Jai Shri Bhakti Nirmal Acharya. Jai.
Well, I would like to invite all the devotees to say something. So if in your Zoom, anyone who wants to speak, if you please raise your hand, the digital hand, so to say, then we can unmute you so you can speak something in glorification of Srila Acharya Maharaj. Anybody? I know it's difficult to speak in front of everybody, but sometimes it is very cathartic to say something and to express your inner heart. Actually, it's part of the process of our devotional life, is that we try to share our inner heart with everybody, with the Vaishnavas.
Nandavad to everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Well, we're not really, we're in shock. Still, we are in shock with this news. I mean, everyone is unable to understand what's going on, and we are still waiting for the devotees to come. They are leaving everything, all their jobs and everything, to come and join today on this program, to honor Srila Acharya Deva and to glorify him. And there are quite a few devotees in the kitchen making a feast, and so they can, properly make this festival in his honor. It's very hard for everyone. I don't know what to say. I'm just heartbroken. Maybe such a thing. Please.
Well, what Saraswati said, we heard this very sad news today, and we were not prepared at all for this. It came so suddenly, and we are still in a very, very deep sadness. But simultaneously, we also have had such a beautiful example in our life by Srila Acharya Deva in so many ways, that his devotion and his dedication and his love for his Gurudev and our Gurudev Srila Bhakti Suna Govinda Maharaj, it was so strong, and he had so much drive to satisfy the Guru our Guru in so many ways, and to have seen that, I've never seen that so much in one person. That again, we all know so many challenges in his life, so much difficulties, and he had so much drive to go through all the challenges and still be so giving us that enthusiasm and that happiness that Krishna consciousness was giving him, and the mercy of his Guru, and what we also, by his grace and Gurudev's grace, we experienced that, and we feel actually this morning we were so sad, and we had to do the morning program, and we were crying, and it was so sad. But we simultaneously felt also that he was, we know, this temple is, he's the guardian of this temple, and the devotees here, and we felt also that he is with us, and he will stay with us, and he will also see how this is going on here in this temple, and to leave with these words that, yes, Srila Acharya Maharaj has a very special and beautiful place in our heart, and we are very grateful that he was our guardian and friend in our life. Jai. Srila Bhakti Nirmal Acharya Maharaj ki Jai.
Maybe I can't really read, but can you read?
Oh yeah.
This is a beautiful from the last one.
Okay, this was a saying or a read. Oh, this was what Srila Bhakti Nirmal Acharya Maharaj said in the last Zoom meeting. We were there. So I will quote his saying. I can say to those of you who are helping and supporting my Guru, who are serving Gurudev's temples, that I will always be with you, and I'm always with all of you too. Wherever I go, wherever I am, I will take you all with me. Even if I die, I will take you all with me. I do not know how long I will be alive in this world. Neither do you know how long you will stay in this world. But I will always be with you. I will always look after you. That's what he was saying. Jai. Very beautiful. That was what he was saying on the last Zoom meeting. And I think that's like a bit longer than a week ago.
So we announced that Srila Ayodhya Maharaj here today, and so I'd like to ask him to speak something about Srila Acharya Maharaj, bringing more into sense of that.
Well, I don't know if you're all I'm pretty devastated, as many people are, many devotees are. The loss of the loss of the disappearance from our community vision of Shiva Acharya Dev. Actually, David has just read out something quite wonderful, on WhatsApp, and it's been spoken by many devotees. Actually, Srila Acharya Maharaj to me was the personification of the mercy of Lord Nityananda. It's apt and appropriate in Nityananda's mercy that he will have his samadhi at Acharya Dham. Yes, Srila Govinda Maharaj said that Acharya Maharaj was an impossible man. Impossible. He meant it in a loving, affectionately, because he had such love for the monk, such love for the devotees, and never took offense. He showed incredible mercy in the face of great opposition and adversity in his brief time as Acharya of the mission. And I don't know how I'm going to go on without him, frankly.
Jai Srila Bhakti Nirmal Acharya Maharaj. Jai. I'm going to take some. And also just arrived His Holiness Bhakti Swarup Pridandi Maharaj. I'd like to ask him if he's willing to speak something. Sorry. Shall I bring you? Oh. No, that won't work.
See that? Right. Dandavad. Bhagavat. You say that. Huh? Okay. Jai. Jai Shri. Bhakti Nirmal Jai. Yes, I think Acharya very well personally. I was there when he first came to Nirmal. And newly, we did a couple of programs preaching of Bhakti. But yeah, he was a very, very determined person. He has a very strong Mongol Mars in his chart. He had a coral ring, and he was a very passionately driven person. A workaholic, you might even say that. So, as Srila Prabhupada, Disappearance Swami Maharaj said, I want to die in harness. That's kind of what he did, but went on just fully on full cylinders all the way right to the end. And I told my brother, Jagannath, just now, he's away down in the West Country. And his partner, Sandra, I said, can you say a prayer for me and everything? She immediately said a really nice prayer. She's very good at composing prayers spontaneously. And she said, oh Lord, this holy man has passed away in India. Please accept him in heaven with you, or give him comfort and rest, and help all his followers in their needs at this time. Something, amen. That's what I can remember. So, actually, people at the moment have been in a state of shock and very sudden things. So, I'll see how things go on and develop. But we can definitely pray to his grace wherever he is, to remember us, those who are still here on earth. Incarcerated in the physical bodies here on earth, and the work we have to do to complete our own lifespan, our own lifespan. And definitely, as a moving past, I'm sure you can do that. You'll do that. And that message you gave at the end of the email was very nice. I don't know where that was from, but I thought that was great. I'm always with you wherever I am. I don't know when I will leave or when you will leave, but we'll always be together. This is the mood we should have among the Vaishnavas, among the community. There's no separation really. Only apparently externally in time and space. But in the real world, in the literal world, there's no separation that way. So today we're remembering his holiness, and we just hastily have to come together and this memorial puja together. So I hope everybody's wherever they are and whatever they're doing, remembering this time to say, Jai, Bhakti Nirmal Jai.
Jai. So let's see if someone else wants to come. Yeah, but you need to come near and go and say something because the microphone is not so great. But so speak loudly.
Acharya Maharaj was certainly left last.
You need to speak that.
Yeah, Acharya Maharaj left last night certainly, and it's unbelievable how did he leave. I mean, still he's in just officially like successor of Govinda Maharaj. He was a dynamic when he was chosen for that position, and he still continues to be serving. Maybe he's left the body for officially around, keeping eye on and servicing the men who say, keep doing the services. And he's a very dynamic example of the services. And last time when I went to Navadip, me around and Mayapur and around, but last time he was keeping eyes. I can't climb up because I had a kidney problem. We gave a room right in front of the Pundaku and looked after us very well. And I can't believe my eyes. I can't believe that he's left world. He's still around and good memory and
Jai. So please, someone in the amongst those who have joined with us, I would like to ask someone please to speak something. Please raise your hand and let me know that you are willing to speak. I know it's a very difficult time for everyone, but we want to hear something from the Vaishnava. Otherwise I'll have to start singling people out.
They don't want to run video, they don't want to come to speak. They just want to observe.
All right. One. All right. And Priya Didi, would you like to say something, please?
My humble Dr. from Vishnu Brad, Nirmal Acharya Maharaj, Ki Jai. It's a very difficult day for everybody. As you said, a very big shock for everybody. And already what people have said that he was so dedicated and gave everyone so much enthusiasm. Especially on his parikrams, it was really, sorry, it's just a bit difficult today. Yes, he had so much love and inspiration, and really he was, like a lion amongst the Vaishnavas. He was so, like Maharaj said, so he was like a workaholic. He never stopped serving and trying to engage others in service also. And I hope that we can all carry on serving and, being dedicated to our Gurudev's mission. So, sorry, I don't have very good words to say today. I really apologise. Please forgive my offences. Hare Krishna.
Manindra Prabhu, Krishna Kanta Didi, maybe you would like to say something? Are you there?
Hello?
Can you hear?
Anavatul. Can you hear?
Yes, Prabhu, yes.
Don't be sad, Vaishnavas. Acharya Maharaj join Gurudev and continue his super dynamic service. As we know, he's a unique, impossible man. Can you hear me?
Yes, Guru.
The impossible man. And he left so quick because this is his style. Very dynamic and quick in everything. And he didn't want to lose time in changing from material body to spiritual body. Not any gap in service. And the problem is in us that we lost this association. It's not in front of us as before, but for sure, he now got better body for serve Gurudev in more perfect way, even, if possible, because he was already very, very perfect servant. He removed all the burden of the mission from Gurudev. He never forget. He was the only one. And now the mission in India, who knows, we'll see. Another year open, another era begins without Acharya Maharaj, no doubt. And I always remember when he took me in a preaching tour, was one of my best time in my life. Village to village, going and preach and invite people to go Purnima and collect potatoes and rice in such a big scale that it was very, it's like military campaign, would not stop. All day collecting and in the night keep lecture until 11 o'clock and 4 o'clock in the morning, start again. After 5 days I was practically dead and he would go on and I fainted in the Tatasum for one day long and he would go on. Like amazing, not ordinary. We all know that. And although I'm not really prepared to glorify him because today I really mentally was in totally different situation as all of us. And I will try to glorify him better in another time, but at least few words I wanna say, and he was always in our heart with his super energetic kirtan. When he started kirtan, everybody told him, "You're not good singer, why you sing always, leads the kirtan?" I don't care, I like to lead the kirtan. And later he became very, very nice kirtan leader. I love his kirtan, super energetic and super inspired. And what can I say? Krishna can't
No, I just describe what I'm not. Yeah, it's a loss for us, actually. And I was thinking he was suffering so much and fighting so much to try to please his guru for the wellness of the mission. And kind of relief for him that he left the body and I mean, of course, not for us, but for him, then now he can fully serve without any impediment, any limitation due to the health situation of him, and now he can dance and chant and, in association of Gurudev. And of course, we are left behind, and this is what is very sad. We're still here. We're still waking up in this material body, in this material world. But he is gone to join Srila Gurudev. And so we're happy for him. And we stay behind crying. This is the thing. So I mean, whatever Munira say, I fully subscribe to the glory of Acharya Maharaj. It was very inspiring and never giving up, so all glories to him and his service. Jai Srila Bhakti Nirmal.
Acharya Maharaj. Ki Jai.
All the devotees, Ki Jai, in presence here. And happy to hear from Vishaka and happy to see on such a sad occasion, it's happy to see all the Vaishnavas gathered here. So, my Dandavat to all.
Okay, then who else would like to say something, please? So I also see with us is our Bhakti Kamal Tyagi Maharaj. Maharaj, if you are willing, please, you can speak something, a few minutes.
My Dandavat pranams. I'm saddened today, as I believe many devotees are, at this sudden loss. I think especially yesterday I was speaking with Kamalendu Prabhu. He was calling me in tears from the ICU unit, and then I sort of got a hit of what was coming, but then in the evening I got messages saying, oh, he's so much better, he's out of the ICU, we're so relieved. And I went to sleep last night thinking, okay, everything's fine, it's gonna pass. And then woke up to more messages this morning, so it was a bit of an emotional up and down for me, but just to cathartically express my experience. But I also have some peace in my heart that about 3 weeks ago I had the chance to personally meet with Acharya Maharaj here in Vrindavan, and we had a very warm-hearted meeting, and it was very valuable for me to have that exchange with him and to see his unwavering affection and to see his breadth of heart. So it is a great loss for our community, and especially for the devotees who have been there and been in the thick of it with him over the recent years. My heart really goes out to Kamalendu and Sudevi and Sadhu Maharaj and the other people who've been with him in the recent times. And I felt some relief today to be able to help write some letters to the officials to help release the body and other things like that. And in the long term, I believe everyone will be blessed and see the beauty and the grace that's come through all of these events that unfold in our life and our aspiration to serve Guru and Gauranga. But days like this are especially challenging and bring out some, ups and downs of emotions. But on the whole, as we've heard devotees nicely recount, we know that Srila Acharya Maharaj's spirit was a very bold spirit, a confident spirit, a perseverant spirit, and we know also that he wasn't such a fan of so much emotionality. I can recall many times devotees in tears in front of him and him discreetly casting at me an eye contact glance, like a little bit laughing or a little bit like, oh, what is all this eye water and these kind of things. So we know he was not one for what he sometimes called crocodile tears and things like that. He liked that people proved their character through their dedication more so than their flowery words or their displays of emotion. And he certainly embodied that in his life and in his all-rounded and abounding service in all forms to Srila Gurudev and to all the devotees. So he is well on his way to his Svasadanochit Dham, as it is called. So we have only, happiness to think of his bright future. But as others have expressed, it is a sadness for us at his loss, and we hope that by devotees remembering all the beautiful things that they've learned from him, that they can carry on as is desired in their spiritual path in the service of Guru and Gauranga. So my pranams to all the devotees here today. Jai.
So, anybody else would like to speak something before we do some Guru Puja? Now's your opportunity.
Devashish Prabhu, if I may just say something briefly.
Yes, of course.
Dhanavad. So, as Tyagi Maharaj was alluding to, Srila Acharya was a very bold character and was very much a man of substance and action rather than words, which is very much the opposite of myself. But I remember one of the first darshans I was in with Srila Acharya and hearing him describe himself as like neem. He said, "I'm a little bitter to digest." And he said that with a smile on his face, as he knew his character and that maybe some people cannot handle a straightforward nature that he had. But underneath that, if you saw him a little more, you would see that he wanted nothing more than to please the devotees, to serve the devotees, and he loved them all very much. And it is with that sort of nature that I think we can all look at ourselves and really try to digest how we can follow in his actions rather than saying sweet words. And sorry, there is some noise, but so
Inadvertently muted you, please.
No, it was probably appropriate, Prabhu, so we shall leave it at that, my humble pranams to you all, and that if we can all take one step in the direction of taking that attitude of Srila Acharya towards serving Srila Gurudev and the mission, then we'll all be very successful in our lives.
Yeah. Bhakti Nirmal Acharya Maharaj. So any other before now we can do Guru Puja, but if anyone wants to speak before then, please make yourself known now.
Nana pronouns. I just want to say very quickly that the years that I spent near Srila, I was so happy, and even though you could think that materially it was very austere and very simple life, but his association was so valuable, and just seeing his service and, you know, how he took care of everyone, and he took care of all of us just like his children, and his daughters were his sons. And from the moment I met him in Venezuela, I felt that kind of shelter and also a lot of inspiration, because he was so, his way of preaching was very strong, and he could like take you with him, like, you know, kind of like a wave that comes and can take you very strongly and into service and serving his Gurudev and learning more about what surrender and devotion is. So I just wanted to say that, and that I'm so happy to have had that opportunity and happy to see all the devotees.
Nitai Chandru, your mic is unmuted, so I believe that means you'd like to say something to us.
I accidentally somehow like got out of the Zoom and then had to reconnect there, and my mic was unmuted by accident, but I did want to say something. Discovering up the courage to say something. So I woke up this morning, it was really late because I've been working quite a lot, and I was just totally bewildered this morning when I woke up and I saw the news. I thought I was still dreaming, you know, I just was like, wow, unbelievable. And it was very shocking for myself, and I'm sure all the other devotees in the community worldwide. But after just, you know, some meditation on what Acharya Maharaj, one of the last conversations I had with Acharya Maharaj was a month or so ago, personally on the phone. I spoke to him, and which in itself is another thing, because, you know, I didn't even think that I could call him and he would just pick up the phone like that, but he did, and he was so merciful to me, and
Looks like you've frozen out there, Nitai Chandru. Maybe you lost your connection again. I think so. Anyhow, until he is able to come back. Anyone else wants to ask something or speak something?
yeah. So I was sad because the video is taken on.
Sadly, we lost Nitai Chandru again for the second time. No time.
We don't know when we're going, and therefore we have to take every single opportunity in our life, in our existence, to serve the Guru, to serve the Vaishnavas, to serve, you know, Mahaprabhu, Radha and Krishna, and, you know, we cannot forget that no matter what happens. We have to stay strong, stay focused, and carry on serving. So I can't fold my hands right now because I'm holding the phone, but I am mentally... Okay. Just worrying about it. So, Dhanavats to everyone. Yeah, Dhanavats to everyone. And I don't know what else to say, except for we'll see you all soon. And it's a very sad day, but I'm sure, you know, we can all continue together to serve the Guru, serve Vaishnava. And I don't know what else to say. Dhanavats.
Dhanavad. Nitai Chand. Dhanavad Guru Nadi. Okay. Ananta Govinda Prabhu, would you like to speak something?
Dandava, well, really don't know what to say in an occasion like this, because it's a very sad day for us, and well, we have to keep going, and now this is a test, a very hard test that we have, that now we have to try to realize what we listen from our gurus and we read in the scriptures, to be more humble, more tolerant, give respect to others, keep going with the heart-to-heart transaction between all the Vaishnavas, and keep going on. That's it.
Beautiful, Prabhu. Thank you.
What about Induleka Didi and Anjali Didi?
Yes, I would like to say something. It would be very good.
It's a very, very difficult day for the Devotee family. Obviously, when a highly amazing Vaishnav like Srila Acharya Maharaj disappeared from this world, it can feel a little bit like the clouds covering the sun a little bit sometimes. But in a way, I always see it like it's an opportunity to see his present and Gurudev present, not just on him and his service, but also on the Vaishnav. And I feel like that more and more lately, like we are so fortunate, like we at least even in lockdown and even like we are all over the world, we have the opportunity to have these and not be alone, and have the association with the devotees. And I feel like it's another kind of like a wake-up call that it was suddenly, but life is like that, you know. We don't have that much time, and we don't know for how long we're going to be here and how long we have. So it's like, for me, it's a very Srila Acharya Maharaj thing to do, you know. He was always like, always telling us, don't waste your time, you don't know how long you have. As Saraswati and Sachiti were reading, the last Zoom call he did, it was basically that. And I just feel fortunate to have the association of the devotees, and yeah, I don't know, do you want to say something, Anjali?
Yes. Hello, everybody, and what? I don't really know what to say. 4 o'clock this morning, Krishna Banda came into my room and broke the news that Acharya Dev had passed away. with a heart attack in hospital. I was fortunate enough to spend quite a lot of time, from time to time, Goropanima time, when I was in Nadi. And I spoke to him, I don't know, just before or just after Goropanima, I can't remember exactly, on the phone. And I said how sad I was with the situation. I was unable to go. I used to really relish the parikrams with him. It's one of the sweetest memories I have. And of course, this awful business that we're all trying to deal with is preventing travel. So I couldn't go with the dogs. So I was saying how really sad I was, that I couldn't go. And I'm getting old myself. So it's true, we don't know how long we have in this world. But everything's moving around me now. So it's very, very sad and very, very shocking. And it's, it's a spear in the heart with our nation, that it's such a treasure. And how we will pick up the pieces and how it will continue to flow so sweetly in the world, Navadvip being the center of all. So we have each other. We're a very close-knit but lovely family. And we're so grateful for that. Wonderful, wonderful devotees we have with us in this life right now. It's just a very, very sad day and a big shock, And he did so much, like I couldn't know how he did what he did, and how he, with full verve and full desire, to continue all these temples, everything arranged, and suddenly no one could go there. It's just a tragedy, the whole thing. It's like so very sad. So, that's all I can. I shut up now.
And that's
Thunderbolt.
Devashish Prabhu, we have here Lalita Madhav Prabhu who just arrived.
Yes, good. Lalita Madhav Prabhu, you like to speak something? A few minutes, please.
Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. First of all, yes, my obeisances to all the devotees. Very. It's just very intense. Sorry, very shocking day. And feeling for everyone who's been so affected by this. Sorry, to speak very frankly, just praying for the mission as a whole, really. I remember in the months and immediate sort of time just after Srila Gurudev disappeared, going to India and with Pandita at that time, and I remember at that time sort of with all the things that were taking place in London, Just finding so much, solace in the fact that Srila Acharya Maharaj was around. He was very kindly guiding us as to how to proceed, just in a very sort of practical way over here. The fact is, I wasn't able to, I think, sort of step up to, sort of what he wanted. He was just absolutely sort of, I remember him asking me where I was going when I was coming back, and I was starting my PhD, and his response at the time was, does Srimati Radharani need to go to Oxford to learn how to love Krishna? I said, no, Maharaj, I couldn't quite live up to that. He was not so. And I mean, the fact of the matter is, I've been fairly out of things for quite a few years, so I'm not really in the flow. I'm not so much in the current to speak with so much sort of realization, but I've from the sidelines been witnessing what's been going on, and cannot but always, whenever I've seen Srila Acharya Maharaj's and just absolute resolute focus and just the sort of dynamo of energy, just can't but sort of be in awe of that. The other thing I can share personally is that when we were deciphering the pranam mantra of Srila Acharya Maharaj, that Srila Gurudev, or that we were told that Srila Gurudev left behind for the glorification of Srila Acharya Maharaj. That was an interesting experience. I remember this Puja Shri Guru Varga Vandita Mahabhavan Vitaya Sada. How he's. It was a very interesting glorification. What's that? Oh, it was the rhythm, of course, and the alliteration, but also just the concept of it, in that it was a glorification ultimately of the current, and that stems from Srimati Radharani, and is now taking the form of a nirjara, a great cascade or waterfall, and that he was the Nibritam Samrakshakang Sadaram. Translated in various ways, but when we were looking at the word nibrita, actually, if you look it up, literally, I found this very interesting. It means sort of solitary or isolated, or from a secret place or something. There was I found that quite an interesting, and in light of all the things that were happening, that have been happening in the Mat, all these as Gurudev's vision of that this very glorious thing that Srila Acharya Maharaj was protecting, but he was having to do it in a sort of solitary way almost. That's. Anyways, I just again offer everyone my obeisances. I pray to Srila Acharya Maharaj that he may forgive me for being so out of it and not having been able to, or choosing not to, step up and, give my energy in the way that I know that he modeled for us, to Srila Gurudev. Really that will sort of be the deep imprint that he left. That he leaves in my heart, I just pray for the unity of the mission going forward, and that we find harmony, because we know that the aftermath of the disappearance of the great personalities, they leave complications naturally. We're told, in the wake of that, and I pray very much that we're able to come together and, comfort one another and find harmony, and keep going in the service of our beloved Gurudevs. So, Jai Srila Acharya Maharaj. Jai to all the devotees. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah.
I just wanted to say that now more than ever we should be together, just like you said, be together for the service of Srila Gurudev's mission, and with that mood of Srila Acharya Maharaj's enthusiasm, we should keep it and proceed.
Yeah. Oh, one last thing,
yes.
that just from the recent things that I heard, 2 other devotees, but a very wonderful teaching actually that Srila Acharya Maharaj was saying, that Gurudev was telling him, if you want to do big things, then keep your mind away from the little things, from not the little, these small-minded things like that. If we want to achieve big things, and really, I thought that's I think a very important message for the community as a whole, for me personally.
Yeah. Anyone else wants to speak something? A few minutes.
Pandita?
Then, remembering the words of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he reasons ill, he says that Vaishnavas die. Whilst thou art living still in sound, Vaishnavas die to live, and living try to spread the holy name around. So that we can remember that by following the order of Sri Gurudev, we are with Sri Gurudev. And this is our association is always through that. And who Srila Govinda Maharaj said, if you are able to meditate on that person perfectly, you will be with that person. And the perfect type of meditation is to be always engaged in seva and always to be fixed in our conception that we got from our Gurudev. So when we are thinking the heartbreak that the disciples and the followers of Srila Acharya Maharaj feeling, but we should remember, everyone should remember what they received from him. The holy name of the Lord, the association of the Vaishnavas, the divine service of our Sri Chaitanya Saraswat mott and mission. And if we see his example, that he is never resting. He is never resting for a moment, always going, service. So much so that it's almost impossible for anyone to keep up with him. Actually, that's the truth. And we believe, by the will of the Supreme Lord, he's been called to the service of his Srila Gurudev in Goloka Vrindavan, where that non-stop service will continue for eternity. So although we are saddened to lose his association, because we are left behind, so to say. But we should take solace in the fact that we can associate with him by following his instruction, by following his teaching, by following what he wanted to give to the world, which is the divine wealth and conception of Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj. If we are able to appreciate that in some way, then we will not be bereft of his association. Tomorrow is the appearance day of Gadadhar Pandit, and we've heard from Guru Maharaj that Gadadhar Pandit said, there is no pain in this world except the pain of separation from the Vaishnava. So we should always try to think, where is the Vaishnava and how will we find, where will we find our Gurudev? And that will be down to our own hankering, to our own sincere seeking, because we are not, it is not that it is finished once we come to the lotus feet of Sri Gurudev. It is not that it is finished. It is the beginning, actually, the beginning of the real connection with Krishna and Krishna consciousness. From the baby steps to the ultimate prayojana of prema bhakti. That is, we have to be resolute in our campaign, that we are prepared to do whatever is necessary to attain that highest goal. And really the simple way is to garner the affection of the Vaishnavas, those who already have that. If we are able to, just to get their affectionate connection, then everything will be very easy for us, actually. And we see, as so many devotees have told already, that, you know, Srila Gurudev, Srila Acharya Maharaj, he showed so much affection to the Vaishnavas. So much, we see that, you know, that in spite of everything, he wants to serve the Vaishnavas. Even the Vaishnavas that are opposed to him, he's giving shelter to them. What kind of extraordinary Vaishnava is that? So we are deeply saddened by his departure so quickly, as so many have said, without any warning. Just, you know, it is very much in his style to do like that. He's a get up and go man, and this is what he's done. And so of course it is sad, and of course it is difficult for us, but we should also be happy that now he is with Srila Gurudev in eternity, and rendering service at his lotus feet, which is all he aspired for. So we are remembering him today. We can do some Guru Puja, and if anyone wishes to remain online, that is nice. Maybe you will be doing your own Guru Puja where you are, but we shall do that, and then we will have our arti here, and then honor Mahaprasad in his memory, and we will keep his, for those devotees who can't join today but may want to join through the week, we will keep his place on his special asana, and the devotees can come to offer their prayers and condolences and be with him in that way. And we should also be with each other, because that is how we overcome the difficulties in Krishna consciousness by association. And as Srila Gurudev said, one of the first lessons from Gurudev: serve the Vaishnavas without envy. Nirmatsaranam, that is the word, means not to have any envy towards any Vaishnava, any bad feeling towards any Vaishnava. We should try to serve in that way. We should try to see the good qualities of all the Vaishnavas in that way, as Srila Acharya Maharaj did. So we'll close our meeting today now with Guru Puja. Jai Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Nirmal Acharya Maharaj Ki Jai. Hare Krishna.
We can do some kirtan. ¿Cuánto tiempo le falta a la We can do some kirtan then. We can do some kirtan now. Because the offering is not ready. ¿La acaban de poner? Sí. ¿Quieres cantar la mañana? Sí. Llama a cobrar una por favor. Todo mi escucha.